Up this 15 horsepower Johnson Seahorse electric start and pull start. I went down to North Florida to get it. I originally went down there to pick up a parts motor for my 6 horsepower Evinrude, and the lady said, why don't you take another one? And she said she'd do 50 bucks for this one, so I couldn't pass it up. Bought it in unknown condition, got it back, did a compression test, and the lower cylinder was reading 60, while the top cylinder was reading 120. So I really haven't ran into this issue yet with these outboards. So I joined a group on Facebook and asked them if it was worth it to either re-ring it or if they had any advice. And a lot of the people who know a lot more about it than me said it's probably just a stuck ring or a head gasket and start with that. One of the guys suggested to go get some fogging oil. It's specifically to lubricate cylinders during storage and to keep everything lubricated, and to spray that in there and turn it over until one of the rings comes unstuck. If that don't work, put it in a bucket, run it until it gets hot, and see if one of those springs will loosen up, or one of the rings will loosen up. So yeah, let's see what happens. All right, here's some of that fogging oil. I'm gonna spray it in the lower cylinder. The stroke is in the downward position. And then I'm gonna take my drill and turn it over so it don't kill my shoulder. I'm gonna do this a few more times and maybe let her soak. Some people say to set the motor down on its face and fill up the cylinder so it gets all the way around the ring. So yeah, I'll get back to you when I'm doing a compression check. All right, I did that with the fogging oil a few more times, lubricate everything up, got my compression tester hooked up, so we're gonna see what she reads. See if this will turn it over. Nope, not strong enough. So let me resort to pulling it over by hand. Okay, so we're getting there. The lower was at 60 to 70 when I first got this motor. And now after a few manual pullovers, it's almost up to 120, so we're getting somewhere. I'm probably gonna do that fogging oil trick a few more times. And yeah, I'm gonna show y'all what the top one's reading as well. Here's the top cylinder, it's right at 120. So the bottom's not far off. I'm gonna continue to put that fog oil in it, spin it over and over and over, see if I can get that ring freed up a little bit more. But I'm happy with that, we're on the right track. All right, a little bit more fog oil and a few more rotations on the cylinder later. She's sitting right about 120. So seems like the ring's unstuck. I am super happy with that. She should be able to run now. Just gotta see if she's got spark, change some fuel lines out. We'll hook some gas up to her and see what she does. All right, put a new Tygon fuel line on, as you can see. Put some gas up to her, and she's leaking right at the bottom of the fuel pump. So I guess I'm gonna go ahead and take that line off, put a new one on, and I hope it's not the fuel pump casing here. I'll have to rebuild it, but yeah, it's been leaking down here. Let's see. She just popped off a while ago. Let's see. Fuel pump's leaking. Watch out, it might spray on you. Runs.
She smokes.
Well, yeah, it hasn't been ran in a minute. All right, so we got her running. I didn't want to run her very long because there's no water hooked up to it to cool the engine or the impeller or any of that. But I just wanted to make sure it was going to run, and then now it's worth to put a little bit more time and money into it. But it's crazy how it went from 60 psi on one cylinder to 120 with that fog and oil. That just amazes me, and she runs. So now I'm just going to do your typical tune-up, probably rebuild the fuel pump, might end up putting a carb kit in it, going to dive into the lower unit and go from there. Stay tuned. So going to have to figure out what all these wires go to, probably rewire it. I know some goes to the starter for the kill switch and whatnot, so I'm going to have to figure that out. Plan on putting a new little leather piece on, probably just drill these out and rivet it in. And I do have the intake box for it, but it's off for now for easy access to the carb. But yeah. All right, if you look real close, right there it was cracked. That's where it was leaking from. So I got my parts motor, and I took the fuel pump outer part off of this one, which is this, and I put it on here, and now there's no more leaks, so we're good to go. All right, so I was sitting here looking over the motor again, and I noticed there's a place to hook up your muffs. So I got a pair. All my older engines aren't meant for muff hookups, so I'm gonna try it on this one and see how it goes. All right, I got the muffs on. I guess it's hard to get a good seal, but it is what it is. All right. See if she'll fire back up. As you can see, tried the muffs, didn't really work. They suck. Water was coming out everywhere. There was no good seal. And I tried running it in a bucket, which worked better, but I was not getting a piston stream. I'm not sure if this 74 model pisses or not. I haven't found a hole to see, but it felt like she was getting pretty hot, so I cut it off. And just to be safe, I went ahead and ordered me an impeller. Be here in a couple days. Go ahead and put a new impeller in it, impeller kit. Then once that comes in, while the lower unit's off, I'm probably gonna dive into the clutch dogs and see if everything's working good in that. It'll go into reverse and neutral, but forward seems to be a little stuck, so we'll have to dive into that. Once I know the water pump's good and the lower unit's good, has fresh fluid in it and stuff, probably end up taking it to the lake, testing it out. But as of now, that's the plans, and thanks for watching.